Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is for you. I'm Cyclone. This is Let's Play Train Simulator Classic, and I don't think we're going to have a problem with 5-star difficulty on this scenario. It's a shunting shuffle. We're just going to traipse around the yard, moving things to and fro, and I guess the only reason it's difficult is because there is a potential of running into other trains in this scenario, which is really difficult to do in any other scenario because you're not set up in any way to speed or run into other trains in those scenarios. The only thing you can do is hit a buffer, and, you know, that basically just causes a bit of, "What are you doing?" Excuse me. What are you doing type reaction. So let's go ahead and get into Shunting Shuffle, and we'll chat more there. Oh, we get to start with the door open. Excellent.
3 newly serviced vehicles here in Broomlow Maintenance Yard have to be assembled into a 3-car train. As they are all facing the same direction, we will need to turn the first one by driving it around the access ramp triangle via Govan. Close the front door, why is it open? And set up your cabin controls. All movements today will be in manual driving mode. Drive in reverse to depot line 2. Close this window to begin.
This is going to be interesting. So we have to start by closing our door. If you didn't know that this door operates, now you know. So we're going to try to... there we go. Problem solved. So that comes up. We are definitely going to drive in reverse. That is for sure. It is raining. I don't like this. It is raining. And we need to take the parking brake off. Let's make sure the parking brake is off. That would help. I just saw a worker in the train. Let's check that again. Hello, sir. You know what? The door is open. I like it. I like it. Hello, sir. Your hand is pretty red. Are you sure that's healthy? Okay, let's see. We're stopping at depot line 2, so we are going all the way over to depot line 2, as we normally would if we were starting an actual service. We're going to then be proceeding over to Govan Outer, so we are going to make our way into Govan. We're going to head back and stop at depot line 1. So basically it's a bit of a turnaround operation followed by some coupling tasks, which we'll look at later. Our arrival time is 13:17 for this first stop. I had the door highlighted, disregard that. I'm going to need to slow down a little earlier because I only have one car, so I don't need to put an entire train in here like I normally would. We're just going to get ourselves past the signal. We're going to go ahead and come to a stop eventually. Eventually. There we go. Stop. So that worked out nicely. Going to move this back to a forward driving position. Now I've noticed that even with a 60% brake application, the train seems to move a slight bit. So, well done. Now drive to Govan where we will again reverse the train. Okay. So I've noticed that sometimes the train does tend to move on its own. When I'm reviewing video, I've skipped like 10 seconds ahead. I've noticed the train has actually moved forward a slight bit in that 10 seconds. So, thankfully not enough to cause a problem with your stop task. But it does stop. It does keep going. So you may want to put the train in full if you want to make sure your train does not move. A full application will not penalize you in terms of emergency braking. And there is an emergency brake, but I don't think you can actually trip the emergency brake by going into a full brake application. I have seen it done, obviously, with automatic driving as well. So, yeah, I assume everything's okay with that. Let's make sure we don't break too much speed in the tunnel. Train's going to help us with that anyway, but we're going to do what we can to make sure we don't. That'll work. The train's controlling it now, so I'm happy with that. Even so, you can't really speed. The train will not let you speed. It literally will not. You okay back there, sir? Okay. Turn the wipers off for a moment. Don't need them right now. Blow the horn a couple times. I should have my headlights on for this. So we have a dim headlight setting. I'm going to go ahead and increase my speed a little bit so we can get to our... we're not going to be allowed to, are we? 55 is our limit, but we're not allowed to gain any speed. Well, that is fantastic. Oh, there we go. Now we can. Our arrival time at Govan is 13:20, so we have a little bit of time. And a little bit of extra speed to do it with. You can see we do clearly have the red ahead. We're not doing an actual service here, obviously. So we're not going to have to we're not going to be allowed to go beyond into the tunnel today. This is just shunting today. So we are within the station. You can see the green flash over the cab. So we do have a green signal to go backwards. We saw that very, very clearly. So we're going to keep in mind that we are going to be going backwards. That's a fun view. We're going to be going back. Hello. We're going to... Hello. There we are. There's where we are. There's the green. We're going backwards. So that's what we're going to be doing. Now drive in reverse to line LB. Make sure your speed never exceeds... Well, yeah, we have to. Close this window to continue. Got it. Oops. There we go. That's what I want to do. Now, the signal turned red as we passed it. I noticed it was a little bit early. So, yeah, what can you do? We're going to turn the wipers on again to make sure we're good to go. We're going to go to line TB, which is that line right there as we get to the end of the tunnel. So what are we doing? We're reversing. I assume we're good to go. I can't see behind me, so I kind of have to assume that we're good. This is probably where that special case for the other signal is. So you see that other signal inside the... in the tunnel when you're going on the inner circuit, you see that other signal? I think it's related to this line. I could be mistaken. Could be that signal is related to shunt movements like this. So if there's a shunt movement going on, the auto system in the regular circle service will not allow you to proceed. So in this case, we are going to head back, not exceeding 18 kilometers per hour because we're being told don't do it. And the train is not letting us. Even better. The train is not letting us. So there's nothing we can do to really exceed it anyway, even if we wanted to. Looking at the HUD, you can see we are indeed showing an 18 kilometer per hour light here. And indeed, we're in the 18 now anyway. That's probably why we were told not to exceed. There is a 55 now, but the light does come on, but we're not going to be paying attention to that because we have to stop anyway. Well, wait, make sure we have the green signal there. There we go. I had to back up enough to make sure we indeed did have a green signal. Because if we were not going to have a green signal, we could not really proceed. What am I doing? That's what I want to do. Perfect. How you doing, sir? Excellent. Well done. Now drive forward to depot line 1. Again, make sure your speed never exceeds it. Yeah, I don't think the train's going to let me. But in any case, why did I do that? Yeah, I didn't have to do anything to make sure the train didn't exceed. It basically made sure of it on its own. So we're off now to depot line 1, which is our next stop. All of our check marks so far. Yes, that green thing appeared behind the check mark, but the check mark is there. So depot line 1 at 13:25 is our arrival time. Looks like we're getting 113 points for... No, I'm doing the math wrong. I didn't see what the number is for each stop, but knowing that there are 9 timetabled stops here, basically take 1,000 divided by 9, and that's the minimum amount you can get per stop to get the full score. It looks like there's way more than 1,000 points available here. For 3 stops, 429, yeah, that's about 1,287 points, I believe, that you have available in this scenario. So you should have no problem getting a good score here. 5 bar? Please. So now everything that we're doing is a shunting movement. We can actually look at the train from above and make sure our shunt signals are good to go. I think we're going to be changing track this time, am I right? Nope, we're taking depot line 1. We're good. So we're now within the area of the stop. Let's go ahead and make that stop. Large brakes. Next task will be backing up to depot line 7. We're going to stop at 5A and back up to depot line 8. And then we're going to eventually take this train over to the shed at number 14, which is one we're familiar with by now. So there you go, 143 for each stop. Now drive in reverse and couple to the vehicle in depot line 7. Be careful not to push the vehicle into the depot. Oh, you're going to challenge us here. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and run a save here just to make sure everything works out okay. Done. Now let's hop on top of the train by hitting 3. We're going to go ahead and reverse by going... Remember, you have to push up to go into reverse here. So you can see the shunt signal is going to go away as we pass it. There you go. So we are cleared to go into our shunting move. Now all the lines here are automatic, so there's nothing to worry about in terms of... where's my train? Where am I? Right there. So all our lines are automatic. We don't push any switches. We're just going to be backing up to this train. That's what we're going to be doing. So you can see us coming up to the train right there. There's our next shunt move. If we zoom in on that somehow, it tells you 7. So the number shows up to say what shed we're going to. We're going to depot line 7. I didn't want to brake. Not yet. This is 7 right here. So I'm going to go ahead and slow down a little bit now. And a little more. There we go. That's that. Do I have to stop? Oh, I have to couple. I still have to couple apparently. Okay. Let's zoom in on the train. Apparently we have to do that manually, so we're coupled. Now change cabins and proceed towards line 5. We're gonna change to the other cabin. Well, that is very interesting. I did not realize that was not. What do you mean change cabins? We don't have another cabin. Do we have another cabin? I guess we do, apparently. I'm a little perplexed by this, but thank you. Okay. I guess we're going to do that. So, change cabins and proceed forward to line 5A. If we're proceeding forward, don't we have to be in the front cabin? I'm going to go ahead and just try and go forward. Shunt was not activating for whatever reason, but now it will. Apparently we are approaching timetable areas now. So 13:20 is our stop time for this. We are going to make this stop on time. Let's make sure we get ourselves fully inside the orange area here. That should do the job. Now I will change cabins for a moment. So let's turn the parking brake on this sucker. Saloon lights will have to stay on because we got a lovely gentleman back there. And let's make sure the reverser is out. These brakes are going to stay on. We're going to hit F4. We're going to head back into that cab. Now I'll move to the rear cabin. So I don't know why. So there's an error that I just noticed with that previous direction. Notice the other one said change to the other cabin. If I had changed to the other cabin, I would have been basically in the cabin we now have to change to, which is the one I just entered. So I think there's an error with that change to the other cabin command, and that is something I'm going to report as a potential thing to fix here, if this is something that can still be fixed at this point. So that's a little bug I think needs to be ironed out by Thompson. So that is something by Mr. Thompson. So I think I'm going to report that one and see if that can be picked up on. If you happen to see this video, then he'll see what I'm talking about and see how I was confused by that command. Hopefully that will be clarified. But in any case, we are now moving to the rear cabin. Drive forward to couple to the vehicle in depot line 8. Be careful not to push the vehicle into the depot doors, of course. So let's go ahead and get this parking brake off very, very speedily. Parking brake will be off. As such, I can now put the train into a forward position. That is a forward position. We're going to start driving it. We're going to put these wipers on for a moment. So now that we have a train going in this direction, we don't really have any problems. We can see what we're doing without having to hop on the train like this. I can actually change my view back to that as well. That'd be helpful for me. Our arrival time for this is not timed. So I actually misjudged. We actually do not have 1,400 points available on this scenario. But now I will look at the train from this side because it's going to help with our coupling job. Plus we have to do this anyway. I didn't push in the depot doors, thankfully. So well done. Now press the saloon lights on button to activate the passenger lighting on the complete train. See what he means. Let's just look at this here. These ones are on. These ones are off. So basically you have to turn on the entire train at this point. That's what it's telling you to do. Excuse me. So then change cabins and proceed forward to line 5A again. So now I'm going to go back to line 5A where I just was. So let's get back in the cab. We're going to go ahead and activate the saloon lighting for me here. Let's put the parking brake on this one as well. So saloon lighting is now on for everybody. And let's get back to the correct cabin once I get the reverser into an off situation. This is where I want to be. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to have to remove the parking brake again. The keyboard shortcut for parking brake is a very handy one. Let's just say that. So turn those wipers on. And why? I don't think I turned the wipers off on the other cab. So I'm going to check that when I make my way back to the last car. I'll make sure those wipers are off too. Now we have a full train, so we're going to need the entire section again. Timing for this is 13:31. I am on time for this. I just have to make sure I get in quickly enough and come to a stop right there. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this train. Wipers are off. Parking brakes are again on. And I'll leave the saloon lighting on at this point because, you know, I don't want to inconvenience the guy in the back. Let's bring up the F4 HUD. I believe, nope, reverser needs to be set down. There we go. And I indeed left the wipers on here, so they're off now. That's taken care of. Let's go to this back train. Let's turn these wipers on. Let's set this parking brake to be off. There we go. And move to the rear cabin and return to the depot via the train washer. Okay, so we're going to wash the train we just put together. Back to the regular HUD as well, because I've been doing that, changing that a lot. And the plus minus buttons that you're normally advised to use for switching cabs, they're my recording buttons. I can't use those. I have to use the F4 HUD. I haven't figured out a good key or a pair of keys I can use for my recording buttons yet. Until I do that, I'm not going to change them, because they're the ones that I find by themselves don't do anything. You have to use them with control or with shift or something like that when you use them. So I'm just going to keep with that arrangement. There's another train over here. I don't know what that is, but you see Govan down there indicated on the HUD for a moment when I brought it up. We're just going to kind of cruise in here going way too fast. Welcome to Shed 14, brand new completed train. You get the edge track. You get the track where everyone can investigate you and praise the fact that you are a nice, beautiful new train. A couple honks to let people know we're here. And we are in, so we can stop the train now. Our arrival time is now. Let's look at our brand new completed train as we shut it down, shall we? Full brakes. That's off. We're done. Oh, parking brake on. Let's turn the parking brake on, because why not? Now we're done. Let's get outside. And so a new train joins the stable of mammoth beasts running along the underground subway, keeping track of speeds and everything. Well done, driver. That was a successful journey? Well, that was a shunting mission, so we should be all right with that. 143 times 7, 1001. Now I know those couple tasks did not count for the points. So this was indeed exactly the amount of points you needed, plus 1. Let's go see if we got them all, shall we? Of course we got them all. Why wouldn't we? So there you go. Perfect drive, and we're going to move straight into the next scenario. Let's get to the next one. So now for part 2 of our 2 scenario series today, we're going to start from the depot. We're going to start an inner circle service, and let's see if anything can go wrong on this. I'm going to assume by the title that something goes wrong. Let's get to work.
This evening, your train will form Service 1 on the inner circle. As another inner circle service is experiencing technical issues at Ibrox, we will be starting our passenger service at Govan. Prepare your train and drive in manual mode to Depot Line 2, where you will change cabins and reverse to your first station stop at Govan. Be careful to slow down on approach and ensure that the whole train is in the... We know that part. Close when to begin. So, parking brake off. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and move the train. Let's get away from the door. We're going to go ahead and move the train into forward, and we're going to go forward. Let's put some headlights on. Thank you, kind sir. I love how that guy was placed there as if he was opening the garage for us. I love it. I love those touches. Look at that sunset, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that sunset over there. Let's look from over near the building and see what it looks like behind the building. Yep, there you go. Beautiful sunset. So moving up to Depot Line 2, we're going to begin our service. First, we have to, as usual, stop our train within the orange marker for Depot Line 2.
You can see the red signals very nicely on the ground there. Very, very bright signals. So we're going to stop right here. We're going to turn everything off on this side. We're going to turn the headlights off. We're going to turn the parking brake on. We're going to turn the saloon lighting on. And we're going to go ahead and change cabs. So over to the back. We have a shunt. Oh yeah, we're going to the wrong direction. That's why. So parking brake once again will be turned off if I can move correctly. Well done. Now move to the rear cabin and drive to your first passenger stop at Govan. Got it. So reverser should be on. We're going to move to Govan. And something of note, underground, the time of day is infinite. There is no indication of time of day underground. Unless there's a clock on a platform I missed, but I don't remember seeing one. I have a feeling that shunt signal is not going to be something we worry about. I'm intentionally not bringing up the task list right now because it seems to me like there are 9 tasks we're going to be doing. I don't think that shunt signal has anything to do with this, and I kind of don't want to spoil it. Anyway, there's Service 6 coming out from underground. It's done its duty for the day. Or for the period, anyway. Headlights were not on. They are now. We're now moving into the inner circle the other way. Not the normal way to go the inner circle, but we're going to take it. So we have to stop here at the red signal. We're not allowed to go past that signal. So let's keep going a little bit further. We still have to make sure we get our whole train into the platform, which is what we're trying to do. Should not be a problem. So we're done that. We're going to open the doors. You can see our next stop is going to be at Ibrox. So I went ahead to bring that up just to show that to you. We're going to go ahead and keep this reverser down into nothing. Those brakes are going to stay applied. We're going to turn the parking brake on this side back on. And that means we're going to return to the back cab once again. We're going to turn the headlights off, by the way, on this cab. There we go. Now the headlights are going to go back on. I'm going to put the reverser into auto. We're going to put you into parallel, and I have a feeling we're going to be okay to go after that. Oh, and parking brake off as well. Needs to be done. There we go.
Next stop, Ibrox.
There, it's worked. Now we'll take a look at the service. We're going to go to Ibrox, then we're going to continue along the service. It looks like we're going to keep going until we reach St. Enoch, after which it looks like we're going to be stopping our day at 18:08. And that shunt signal you saw up above was for the train emerging as we entered. As we now have an auto drive permit as shown on the desk display, we can now enable ATO. We know this already. So if we wish to continue manual, we can. We don't have to. So ATO is set up. You get the tutorial every single time you set it up in these scenarios, not surprisingly, because you never know. It could be your first scenario, and it's there to tell you in every scenario. So that's why it's set up. In any case, we now have ATO set up. I believe all the buttons have been pushed that we need to push. So let's close this, and we're going to start ATO. There we go.
Next stop, Ibrox.
Now we're passing where we joined the line earlier, right in this area. There's the paths out. Here's the path in. Now notice the red signal ahead and notice the train is bringing us to a stop. We're not allowed to proceed past this red signal as of yet, so we have to basically wait here for a moment. And as soon as everything is clear, we're going to be able to proceed past the signal. Notice the blue light on the desk also was lit up. That blue light also warns that the signal ahead is going to be red. So you're going to see that signal and the blue light go off at roughly the same time. After we do that, I'll reset my view and we're going to be back in operation. If I can stop lighting up the door behind the display, that's fine, something I can move my mouse to. That is not what I want to do. I'll keep it over here for now. Attention passengers, we apologize for the delay. We'll be on our way shortly. So our ETA for the station is not until 17:54. We have another minute. That means there's some sort of delay up ahead. Right there on that service that's disrupting everything. We're back here. So we're just going to have to wait here. Not much we can do. Normally I would get pictures for you of the train, but we can't do that in a tunnel. And we're in a tunnel, so we're not able to look outside. Look at that. The green signal and the blue light have both disappeared. Or as I should say, the green signal came on, the blue light has disappeared, so we're going to go ahead and reset our view back to the main view.
Next stop, Ibrox.
Just remind everyone that we are heading to Ibrox now. As for what was causing the delay, let's look back here, shall we? We have no idea. Oh, the service that was being delayed at Ibrox did eventually move. So now we're going to be behind that service. I don't know how that service is going to get off the line. I'm curious to know that, but not my business. So notice we have the red signal ahead. We do not have an auto start permit. Whoops. We have an auto permit showing, but we're not able to do anything with it yet because we're at a red signal. So it will not be activated at all. And I should be in a position where it's a little more convenient to see the signal before I leave. That would be a good idea. I might move the train out of auto for a moment and just move the train forward slightly so I can see signals a little better. Because it looks like it's going to be absolutely necessary in this scenario to be able to do that from a sitting position. So, there's our signal. So I'm going to go ahead and let our passengers board. Let's see if the signal turns green in the meantime. How are our passengers doing? Did I turn the saloon lights on? Yes, I did. It looks like you get a light here for Bella Houston Park, I believe that says. Let's find out for sure. Yeah, Bella Houston Park. That's exactly what it is. You saw Buchanan Road on the chart over there. We're not going to reach that today. Looking at our next stop, 17:58 is our arrival at Cessnock, or Cessnock. Kidding Park is obviously after that, and it looks like everything's back to normal after that. So whatever's happening with our delayed service, it looks like it's going to be finding a way. Looks like it's going to solve its problems because there's no way off the line. So it looks like it's probably going to solve its problems and go. Did I see another service over here? Who cares? Can't look right now. So let's move this down to 0 for a second. Let's move you on. Now you do it. Okay. Auto.
Next stop, Cessnock.
So now we're on our way to Cessnock. Now we're going to look at what I was just looking at. Service 7 is the one that was giving us having problems earlier. I see there is a service coming the other way eventually, service 4 on the outer line. So we're going to be looking at that on in the other direction in a moment. auto early light has come on. That's telling us there is a red signal up ahead, probably at the station. So the blue light is on to warn us about that. You can see the signal up ahead. I'm going to go ahead and turn off parallel for a moment and just move the train up a wee bit more, because I can. That'll do for my purpose, so leave it on. We'll open the doors now as I make sure we're back in auto. So we're now in auto. You can see the light, by the way, shows you if you're in auto. That yellow light on the side tells you you're in auto. So now that we are definitely in auto, we can move the throttle back into a movement position. We're going to get our auto permit. We're going to be good to go in a moment. Now, frankly, I don't know why we're here, because we're one section behind the next train. So, do they run this close in normal proximity? I don't know, but we're certainly being held for our passenger pickup for 17:58 right now. And once the other train is out of the way, we should be good, I imagine, to go from then on. So you can see Service 4 is now proceeding. It seems to be going at a normal speed at this point. So I think we are going to be okay following this train for the rest of the journey here as we make our way up to where Service 12 is hanging out up here. You can see, meanwhile, Service 9 is hanging out up here as well. Apparently it's going to start. Apparently it's on our line. So apparently it already went by somewhere. I don't know where, but it did. Maybe it's just blocking us from proceeding. Another disrupted service up there. Was that No, that was not Buchanan Street. What do I know? Auto start.
Cessnock, next stop.
Cessnock, next stop. There you go. Let's get this out of the way. My mouse was on the door. I want to make sure it didn't light up again on us. And we are proceeding. So let's keep an eye on the dash and see if that auto early light comes on again. It did. It did come on again. Because the other train is still making it stop at the next station after Cessnock. I mean, after Kinningfish, sorry.
Cessnock, next stop.
We're not stopping at... What's wrong with you?
Next stop, Cessnock.
Okay, it's not right. The announcements are not right today, so I'm just going to go ahead and disregard the announcements for a moment. So we do have the red starter signal at A105. And what's the numbering on the other side, you might ask? Well, let's look at the other side and find out, shall we? On the other side, we have a green at A213. So the numbering just, you know, different. You can see the green hue of light, so I don't even have to look. I know it's a green signal now. There you go. The auto early light also went off, which also tells me it's a green signal. And it looks like moving up towards the signal didn't actually do any good, because the train will park itself exactly where it wants to within the signal block. So now I'm seeing this. One more try at this.
Next stop, Shields Road.
It worked. Good. So Kidding Park is apparently not now known as Cessnock today. Good to know. Good to know that Kidding Park is now Cessnock. I mean, Kidding Park isn't important anyway, right? Our driver didn't understand. Didn't know where we were. Lost his sense of belonging. He had to look at the wall at Kidding Park to remember where he was, and he got it right. He figured it out after that. So, Shields Road. The auto early light has come on once again.
Next stop, Shields Road.
will be opening in a moment. As we approach A106, doors are open. And we'll take a quick look outside on this other train that's leaving. There it goes. And there it went. We continue to have a red signal at this point. I'm taking a look at the additional keyboard controls on this unit, and I don't think parking brake actually has a keyboard control. Now I'm realizing this. So the parking brake actually does not have any kind of control to work with, unfortunately. Now we are clear to go now, so we're going to go ahead and hit N. We're going to make another announcement as we leave.
Next stop, West Street.
Excellent. I don't see an auto early light this time, which is actually... Oh, there it is. Doors are open. Let's just see we have a green light. Yeah, the auto early light has gone off. We have a green light now, so we're good to go. Excellent. So we don't really have much to report on here. We only have 2 more stops we're going to make on our service for whatever reason, and then we're going to be done. So we're got a long wait here for this stop. We're going to go ahead and hit the N button to resume our service.
Bridge Street, next stop.
Bridge Street is indeed our next stop. Quick peek at the map here as we're going. We're going to be stopping up here at this station where Service 7 is going to continue. Service 13 or Service 12 is going to be meeting us coming the other direction. And apparently nothing over here matters. We have a green light, no auto early, so it looks like our schedule is back where it should be. We're going to open the doors. And after we complete this stop, we're going to have 1 more stop to make. Once again, we have the man pointing at, the man pointing at us basically going, "You are the winner of the show!" Pardon me, I don't know what my game show voice took over there. And one more lovely push of the N key on the keyboard, and we are now in auto operation one last time. Going 55 kilometers per hour maximum speed limit.
St. Enoch, next stop.
So we're going to finish our service at St. Enoch. We just have to make sure we open the doors and let everyone off our train, because that seems to be what we're going to be doing. I don't think I was late for any of my stops. I should be okay for my score here. Yeah, 112 per. I hit them all so far. We got them. When you get our 104 here, we're going to be done. Auto early. We have a red light. You can see our arrival time is indeed in 20 seconds. 25 to be exact.
Next stop, St. Enoch.
Quick peek at the map to see that Service 7 is still up there, and maybe it's getting stopped up there. I don't know. So we're going to open the... maybe that seems to be where the train's going to break down, and we're going to have to stop here. So we're going to open the doors. Let's look at our train. So our service is going to stop here. I'm going to assume that the service actually does continue, and that the number 7 probably does get out of the way. But for all I know, there is a good possibility that it breaks down up there. Let's see what the storyline tells us, and we'll see what happens as a result. So we just have to wait for the completion here. Make sure to come back for our next run, by the way. Make sure you like the videos, subscribe to the channel, and all the usual stuff. Join the Discord server. You can support Patreon if you wish. And I also will have one more scenario to do here next time. That scenario will be the manual driving mode of the same service we just did in the first real scenario, the outer service. Now, I have a feeling it's the same service cloned, but we just aren't able to use the auto start for whatever reason, which I'm sure will be in the storyline. So we'll find out what that is. The good news is the train can't speed. We're just going to have to make sure we come to a stop ourselves exactly where we're supposed to, and that's where the challenge really is going to be. So let's go ahead and see how we did on this scenario in the meantime. And that's that. 1,000 points more added to the trophy case. And not that the points really mean anything. I mean, let me just say right now, when I get to post West Somerset Railway, you're going to see me back in the 70,000s, because I taped that a long time ago, and I meant to put that up long before now, but it's just sitting there waiting to be posted, because I'm waiting for a spot where I don't have to post anything for a while, and that very well could be the section coming up. I don't know if there's a new route coming out this week. Nothing's been announced yet. Granted, it is the weekend right now, so I'm not surprised as I'm recording this. So there may be a new route announced by then. If so, I may have to look at that as well, because it seems to be getting some good response to the new routes, and I hope you come back to check out any new routes I do post here as well. But if there are no new routes, I'll just make a point of possibly putting up West Somerset Railway at that point. I may do the whole series at that point. I've got 2 weeks worth recorded. I may do a couple bonus videos with that. I haven't decided how I'm going to handle that yet, because I'm going to need to play something in the meantime. So we'll see how that works. But I do have at least West Somerset Railway ready to go, and I'm going to try to get some other editing done and get some other videos caught up for release as well. There's a couple more I still have to redo, like the Class 159, unfortunately, because I'm probably not going to have access to those videos for a bit unless I can find something to dig into my old hard drive, which is still right here in front of me. Hasn't moved. So we'll worry about that at a later time. In the meantime, let's get set up for our last service, which will be tomorrow. And there it is. So let's take a comparison of these two services. If we go to this one, yeah, it's a clone. It is exact. We're going to give it a try, boys and girls. We're going to drive in manual mode. The thing is, we're going to have to do the entire service. I'm probably going to do save games along the way. I may give you some screens of the various looks at each station. Some of them are going to be kind of boring, but I'll try. I might give you screenshots on the way on this one just so I can fill in the save games. But we are, next time, going to attempt to do the manual mode challenge for the Glasgow subway. I'm a little more nervous about this one because while this is normal, the way that I've seen this train drive in normal automatic mode tells me that we're going to have to really hightail our way into these stations in a way that I'm not comfortable with. And this is going to be a very, very interesting scenario. So let's see if I can pull this off next time. And if I can, well, I'm pretty good then, I would say. Wouldn't you agree? I'll see you next time for that. I'm Cyclone. Have a wonderful day, evening, night, whatever time it is for you, your part of the world. If you are indeed watching this on the playlist in the meantime, and this next video is already up, you can watch me flounder about in manual mode in 3, 2, 1.